W. Davis here with Pavy. You're listening to the Spark Report. What's going on, man? How you doing?
How you feeling? I'm good.
I'm feeling pretty good. First round is over.
First round is over.
We're looking at the second round.
Y'all looking at the second round.
Did they get the team you wanted? Was this the matchup you asked for?
Yeah. I mean,
how do you feel after seeing them play that first round game, though, Seattle Storm? Still feel the same?
The Lynx had one backcourt point, one starting backcourt point. That is the most unacceptable thing I've ever heard of in the history of basketball. Mm-hmm. Hey, in no level of basketball should your starting backcourt get outscored 44-1.
They didn't have one point from the field.
What did you do?
No field goals.
You went out there and did cardio.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yes, they won the game. Shout out to Storm, again. But again, with all that said, it was still close.
It was, but
if they didn't turn the ball over, I think it was they had 6 straight turnovers in the last 5 minutes of the game or something like that.
Who, the Storm?
No, the Lynx.
Okay, yeah, they ended up with 18.
Yeah, if you actually take care of the ball and I think run some better sets, you actually still might come away with that victory.
But I will say, you have to give credit to the Storm because of the offensive pressure they put on them, which is going to translate to, or the offensive pressure they put on them was translated to the Lynx defense, which then translates to their offense. So it all goes hand in hand. When somebody's dropping 48 on you, you're going to press.
I think they did a good job of picking out matchups. They singled out Lexi Brown every time. Every time somebody saw Lexi Brown, they was like, yeah, food. Literally, go back and watch the game. Every time somebody saw Lexi Brown, shout out Lexi Brown.
Yeah.
God bless her. But every time somebody saw Lexi Brown, they was like, food. Let's go.
Yeah. And Jordan Canada decided that she was going to be the best player.
Yeah, she was.
Over the defensive player of the year.
She has a great She uses the glass really well.
She does, and honestly, she's not much of a shooter. Because I was going back through.
Can't really shoot.
She shoots about 18% from three.
Yeah, I think 38% from the field.
Yeah. So
it's she's gonna drive.
Right.
But the one thing that she did do, she took a couple shots earlier in the game. Mm-hmm. She didn't take threes, but she would they would play off of her, and she would step in and still take that jump shot to at least make the defense think, she might shoot.
Give the appearance that I'm going to shoot from outside.
That she might shoot, which makes it easy for you to get to the basket.
Jewel Lloyd was getting buckets.
She was.
Threes were going down.
I think she hit 3 straight threes to start the game or something like that. Yeah.
Sammy had 2, so they shot fairly well. 7 of 17.
One of the 3 she hit in the fourth was crazy. I think somebody she came around the screen.
Sammy?
Yeah, Sammy. She came around the screen and it was probably honestly they could have called a foul, and she still cashed out. I was like, that was crazy shot. But again, your starting backcourt get outscored 44-1 is the most unacceptable thing I've ever heard of in the history of basketball.
Right. But I think the Storm basically tipped their hand. They showed this is what we're going to be. We're going to be a backcourt team with Natasha Howard, and we're going to play our starters. And we're going to see what we can do. Because they didn't go too deep into the bench. Yeah, they played, Mosqueda Lewis, and they played Crystal Langhorne and Sammy
necessity,
Wickham. But that's just to give people breaks.
No, that was by necessity because Natasha Howard almost fouled out.
Okay.
Yeah, that was more so by necessity. I guarantee you she didn't, because she finished the game with how many fouls?
4.
She played how many minutes?
27.
Exactly. I guarantee you if she was actually out of foul trouble, she probably would have ended up playing.
So that's less minutes for Langhorne.
About 34, 35.
Okay.
If she was actually, I guarantee you on Sunday, she's probably going to end up playing 33, 34, 35 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they had 3 people play over 33 minutes. Because it's literally single elimination.
Yeah, single game elimination.
Do or die. It's your second one in 4 days. You want to win this game. Right now, those are your 3 best players.
Yeah.
Canada, Lloyd, Howard. You still got Clark as well. Russell has the size that nobody on the Sparks can match except Kalani Brown. And it's how much time is Kalani Brown really going to get in their first playoff game? So, they have the makings of a nice, 6.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 6.5. But that's not enough depth against the Sparks.
They're not really they're a 6 seed, but because they won the championship and they they're still the defending champions.
Yes.
So they're just not gonna go. It's they're just you're not just gonna come in there and just run them off the floor. They're gonna come in there, they're gonna compete, they're not gonna quit, they're not gonna give up because again they still are the defending champions. You do have people when they're superstars maybe out, but you do still have people who contributed greatly to a championship team last year. So they know how to win. They're not just gonna go. But again, I think that it's just certain things in that game that I look at where it's like if this doesn't, for one, I think the backcourt defense for Minnesota was an issue. Again, like I said, every time somebody saw Lexi Brown, they just got took to the cup. I don't think there's any backcourt player for the Sparks that you look at and you like, oh, I'm going to abuse her.
No, there's nobody you can pick on. And if they want, they can do like last time, and they can have TRP on Canada. Yeah. And that disrupted her.
Yeah.
Because you're playing full court. It's not like you're just retreating and giving up 3/4 of the court.
Yeah.
You're playing their full court. That's going to frustrate her. And what they really did well the last time when they won 102-68, and I don't expect them to win by 34 points, but what they did well was they slowed down the pace of the Storm. They made the Storm start their offensive set later in the clock.
That and the fact of, I still say I don't think they have many shot creators. So I still think that shot creators, where if you let them...
Jordan Canada created some shots.
Yeah, but again, I think that was against bad defense. Like, I think... Yeah. And she can't... Like, she's not the best shooter. So it's like, it's not like she going... I'm talking about like shot creators where it's like, you don't know how this person going to get a bucket.
Jewel Lloyd.
Yes.
She's got that game.
She does. I just haven't seen her do it against...
one person will not beat the Sparks.
Exactly. That, and also, I just haven't seen her do it against the Sparks. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I saw her do it yesterday. But again, still, a lot of the shots she hit were off of, getting out in transition or, like, creating great shots through the offense. I still think if you can make them... If, like, you can stop their initial action, whereas, like, you can make them pass what they wanted to pass it, if that made any sense.
Yes.
So, like... The initial play was to pass 2 times and get this shot. If you can make them pass that, I think you have a great chance of, like...
Then it's 4 or 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
And they don't have anybody that can...
up full court.
Yeah, and they don't have nobody who can really, like,
at
within 4 or 5 seconds...
Okay.
Like, Raquana, if you give her the ball 5 seconds left, she can manufacture something. Chelsea, she can manufacture something. Candace can manufacture something. When I look at the Storm, who can manufacture something against good defense?
I still say Jewel Lloyd, but that's just one player. Even still, that's just one player. I mean, I guess you could give it to Sammy and she could throw it up.
That's fair.
She could just throw it up.
She could throw it up, but...
And that's basically how she shoots anyway.
Yeah, but that...
I think she shoots too fast, personally. I mean,
she does have a very, very quick...
I think if she was settled just another 1/10 of a second, her percentage would go up even that much more.
And I'm not going to argue with you.
Just because when I saw her set the shot, it was like in every time. Yeah. But when it's just like catch her like that,
I think she just rushes it. I think she just rushes it. Yeah, really, like rushes it sometimes.
Yeah, so I think in this game, you have Candace Parker basically as close as 100% as she's going to get this season. You have NECA, who was named All Defense.
Yeah, she was named
All WNBA defensive team, first place. She finished second for Defensive Player of the Year. You have TRP, who will probably feel like she got snubbed. Not making one of the top 2.
She'll feel like she got snubbed, but so she has the right to feel like
that's
she got
motivation
snubbed.
for her.
She has the right to feel like she got snubbed.
You got Chelsea Gray. I mean, the Sparks just have so much to throw at the Storm that if they can rebound and run off that,
as long as they don't turn the ball over, because they have players where now if you get them in transition, then you
simple passes.
Yeah, don't try to like do all that.
That was what I talked to Coach Fisher about at the beginning of the week. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Like we've seen these passes and we've seen those leads go from 13-6 because of a pass or two that goes out of bounds. And yeah, they might be dead ball and all that stuff, but that's still a turnover.
But that's still you not getting the shot up.
Right.
Like I think with the the issue with that Minnesota had was I think they got 2 shots up in like 7 minutes because they kept turning the ball over. They weren't even getting shots up. Like you have to at least get a shot up. If you're not even shooting the ball, then you basically playing defense for them.
You are, and I think that Shanae and Sydney's energy will almost be unmatched by the Storm. Because watching the Storm, I know they just played a game. They're going to travel. Then they're going to get settled. Then they're going to practice. Then they're going to have a game. That's going to be their succession. And the fact that, see, this is the thing about the Sparks. You probably haven't even realized this. So the Sparks have not been on the road. Sparks got back here September 1st. They've been chilling at home ever since. They played 3 home games the last week, practice, and now they're getting ready for the Storm. That's 15 days of being at home.
That could be a gift and a curse.
Not sleeping in your own bed. Not having to fly coach.
It can.
All of that stuff.
See, it can like kind of be a gift.
They're practicing hard this week.
They are, but you still can't simulate what it's like to go into a game, no matter how hard you practice. Especially a sim game with
you
playoff game.
And Candace Parker talked about that. It's going to be the first 2 minutes of the game. You're going to be like, oh man, I'm tired. But once you push through that, because the lineup's not going to change. Once they push through those first 2 minutes, as long as it's not 10-2.
But which is exactly why I say it's like imperative that they don't start off slow.
Right.
As far as do have a tendency in a lot of games of starting off slow. Now usually again they have the ability to lock down, get into their defense, and especially they usually end halves well, and then that's what helps them become, like you say, a great third quarter team. Is that they usually end halves well. So if the lead was 10 with 2 minutes left, now it's 4 going into the half. 2 buckets is tied. Another stop, we got the lead. Then the whole momentum of the game changes. So they have to start off the game strong. But I don't think the travel will be as much of an issue as people would think it would be. Reason being is just because like Seattle to LA isn't that far. It's still in the same time zone.
I looked it up. It's 3 hours.
Exactly. It's not like you traveling from. Now, if it was like Chicago to LA, that's a distance. Or like Washington to LA,
you
that's
know
a
how
distance.
Traveling at the airport is with bags, though. You just don't show up and get on the plane.
Yeah,
it's a whole process. You got to meet up. You got to get to the airport. You got to lug your bags around. You got to get the bags from baggage claim. You got to go from LAX. You got to sit in that LAX traffic that's going to annoy you. Then you got to go downtown.
Yeah, but it's not like
it's just so many steps.
Yes,
that's the whole day.
Yes, but
all they're doing on Thursday is traveling.
Yes, but it's not like you got to play a game after traveling the whole day.
No, you don't.
You got Friday to rest, and then we got Friday to at least you get to. So let's say you travel on Thursday, right? Let's say I assume
say you do some video on Friday.
Okay, like let's say I would assume they would probably take a 10 a.m. flight, right? So you went to sleep last night. So wait, or maybe you travel today or something.
Travel on Thursday.
Okay, so you travel on Thursday. So they probably got here now.
Right.
Right. So that means you probably be in your hotel 5 p.m. Take a nap or something like that. Go out, get you some dinner. Wake up in the morning, Friday. Go to shoot around. We got the email. End at like 3. After that, maybe do some film work. You rest, you chill. Like you're good. And also, I think that the fact that they're still in game mode, I think helps. Like they're still in game mode. The Sparks been chilling for a week, so I don't think that travel will be.
I think they're in game mode though.
They're in game mode, but it's like
you know what the Sparks did on Wednesday night?
What they do?
They all met together. They had a watch party, and they had a good feeling they were going to play the team from the 6-7 game.
Right.
They met and only watched the 6-7 game. They didn't watch collectively the Mercury Sky game.
Right.
They watched that game together, all 12 players, all of the coaches, and they had another bonding experience.
No, again, I think they'll be ready. But again,
they've already started thinking about how do we go against playoff Storm.
I'm just putting it out there that I don't think the travel in this scenario would be as big of an issue as it would be in different scenarios. And I don't think that the Storm playing 4 days ago puts them at any disadvantage. Because I think
just like the regular season.
Yeah, that and the fact the intensity that you need to play with.
But you know what puts them at a disadvantage?
What?
The fact that the Sparks have not lost at home since the end of June.
Yeah, that put not
14 straight home wins.
Now that's
going for 15.
Now that puts you at a disadvantage.
Last 2 times they played, so in the season series it was 2-1. The Storm won at home. The Sparks won the last 2 at home. Whereas this game is at home for the Sparks. I mean, everything is lining up for the Sparks because you have home court. You haven't had to travel in 2 weeks.
That's why you got to be careful.
You've been sleeping at home.
Yeah, but all of that.
Yeah.
Is in one game. One game. Why you got to be careful? Everything you just said.
Yes, but even if the Storm start off hot, how do they sustain it for 40 minutes? I mean, I feel like over 40 minutes, the talent level on the Sparks and the depth from the Sparks will wear the Storm down. We'll wear them out. There's a discrepancy between these two teams.
Oh, no.
There's a reason why the Sparks won 22 games, and there's a reason why the Storm only won 18.
No. Just like if you look at this on paper, the Sparks have talent-wise the most talented team in the league. I think talent-wise. I think talent-wise the Sparks had the best defensive team in the league. The Washington has the best offensive team in the league, but I think the Sparks arguably are right behind them. I don't care what the offensive rating was during the season because half the team wasn't there.
Yeah.
So literally. I don't care what the offensive rating was during the season. The fact they even was third in defensive rating is impressive to me because you did half of that with sometimes your best defenders not even on the court.
Right.
Sometimes. Some of them at least. So I think talent-wise, obviously the Sparks are way more talented than what the Storm are. I just think the Storm, being a defending champions, they know they're at a disadvantage. They have nothing to lose. Nobody expects them to win this basketball game.
That's true.
You like Breonna Stewart, MVP on the sidelines. Sue Bird, Legend Hall of Fame on the sidelines.
Right.
So nobody really expects you to win this basketball game. You're not traveling far. For everything you just said, Sparks been sleeping in their own bed for 2 weeks. Sometimes I think it's good to be uncomfortable. They've been sleeping in a
not WNBA travel uncomfortable.
Yes, but again,
it's totally different.
I feel you. I just don't think in this scenario, the travel is that.
You and I, we got enough points. We can sit in first class.
Yes.
They can't even do that.
Yes, but again, I don't think in this scenario, because the flight is not that long, and it's still saying you're not changing time zones, it's not that strenuous to travel in this situation, I think. It's like going from LA to Vegas or like from LA to Portland.
LA to Portland, not LA to Vegas.
I mean, LA to Vegas is like an hour.
That's a puddle jumper.
Yeah, but it's not that. Like, it's not that. It's still on the West Coast. You're not leaving the West Coast.
That's true.
Now, it's a different part of the West Coast, but you're not leaving the West Coast.
That's true. Do you think that it helps the Storm that they just played them a week ago?
I think so.
I don't.
I mean, but
because they don't have anything to show for that game. You lose by 34, you don't have anything to show for it other than the fact to say like, well, we won't lose by 34 next time.
I just think that it's like if you them, you like, okay, you can kind of dissect that game because you did get a look at them with everybody playing.
Yes.
So if you look at that game, you feel like, because we even asked, we was like, yo, do you think that's the most complete?
But that still wasn't a full version of NECA though.
Which is what?
Because remember, that was her first game back from load management.
Yeah.
And they still beat them by 34.
Yes.
They got 17 minutes of NECA. 17 minutes of one of the best defenders in the league. 17 minutes of an all WNBA first team, just regular offense, defense, all of it.
I agree, but I think a lot of reason why
they lost by 34.
Yes, but I think a lot of reason why you got 17 minutes of it was they played collectively probably the best game they put together as a team.
They did. They played all 4 quarters.
So it's like when you look at it, you look like, okay, they probably played the best game they played all year in the regular season, at least against us. So I think the Storm.
They didn't make threes though. It was 3 of 17 from threes, and still won by 34.
They
the Sparks.
They were.
So that's still not their best. That's their best game, but it's still not the Sparks at their best.
You got a point.
Because the Sparks should at least be shooting 35%. That's another 3.
Yeah.
Another 3 threes. That's another 9 points. So I mean, you're looking at like 110. If you're doing this right.
But they shot 10 for 31.
Who?
The Storm.
Yeah, they did. But they shot 31 threes. I mean, they give them a couple more. Give them a couple more. 2 more.
But then they shot 34% from the field. Like, they didn't shoot well
That's
either.
defense, though.
That's
what good defense does.
Look.
There's a reason why we keep seeing these teams shooting in the 30s. The Dream, the Storm, probably the Lynx. There's a reason why these teams are not shooting well. It's not because they're not making shots. It's because they're uncomfortable. I mean, they're literally getting 24-second shot clock violations every single game now.
I agree.
You do not see that in the NBA. You could probably go a month. A team can probably go a month without forcing a 24-second shot clock violation.
Yeah, but that's because you got like the shot creators in the NBA. For the most part, everybody in the NBA.
When's the last time you saw the Sparks get a 24-second shot clock violation?
Because they got the best shot creators in the league. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like they should win the game. I'm with you. I think the Sparks should win the game. That's why I said I think the Storm are the easier matchup because I don't think they have shot creators.
Okay.
So like I said, like I've watched the Storm. I remember they played. I think it was Vegas. I remember them playing like Washington. Like when they was getting up and down the court, couldn't stop them. But then when you got them in the half court, slowed the game down and made them make a pass like the actual play that they wanted to run, and it was like 8 seconds left on the shot, 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Yeah. They couldn't manufacture anything.
Yeah, because there's a possibility that ball may end up in Mercedes Russell's hands. The ball may end up in Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis if she's on the court, and yeah, she can shoot, but
she can't put it on the floor and manufacture.
Right.
I'm talking about make something out of nothing.
Right, I got you.
Like I'm gonna throw the ball to her, we gonna move out the way, and we gonna let you figure it out. They don't have much of that, so that's why the Sparks can do because a lot of teams in the league don't have much of that. Mm-hmm. So that's why they can get those shot clock violations, because the Sparks are very good at, again, like you say, pressing you up court. So now you done got up court with maybe 16 seconds left.
Sometimes less than that. By the time you get to
14 seconds left. So now you get into your offense with like 13 on the clock, right? So by the time, first of all, it usually takes 10 seconds to run a play anyway.
Right.
So if it takes 10 seconds to run a play and you done eliminated like the option that they wanted to go to, now at the very best you putting them at 5 seconds left on the shot clock with somebody with the ball who usually not even supposed to have the ball, because the person you wanted to get the ball had to pass it because you stopped that action. Mm-hmm. So if you can't create something out of nothing, violation.
Right.
So again, I'm with you. I think the Sparks should. That's which is why I said I think the Storm would be the best matchup for them. I'm just saying some of the things that we would think would be advantages, I don't necessarily know if they're disadvantages for the Storm.
Okay. Well, let's move on to some non-basketball but basketball-related things.
No, it's basketball-related.
Yeah. Well, non-game-related but league-related.
Yeah.
So I guess you took issue, like a lot of people did on Twitter, about some of the misinformation that was put out there. Talking about, this team will go play that team and this person has this injury and things like that.
Yeah.
You didn't feel like that was a good look for the league?
No, I didn't feel like it was a good look for the league, because it's like those are simple, basic things. And if like you're a professional organization and you want to be looked at as the best women's basketball league in the world, certain stuff like that's got to be cleaned up. Like, for instance, Breanna Stewart, right? Mm-hmm. She tore her ACL back in whatever month before the season, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, we know that it's been put out that you've even seen her rehab.
She tore what?
Her Achilles.
Yeah.
Achilles.
Yeah.
You've even seen her rehabbing Achilles injury. Like, I remember Kobe was like when she showed her doing a rehab, Kobe even responded to the video like, yeah, Stu, like, but they on the broadcast they saying she tore her ACL.
They want to KD her.
But it's like, that's misinformation with one of your biggest stars. Mm-hmm. Like, that's publicized misinformation. Like, it's a fact she tore her Achilles. The KD thing, it was not a fact that he hurt his Achilles. We don't know. This is the fact she tore her Achilles. It's a fact. Mm-hmm. She's had Achilles surgery. It's a fact. This is 6 months later. Why are you putting up there that this lady tore her ACL?
Because it sounds like Achilles.
But that's
ACL, Achilles.
that's misinformation though. Like, okay. I just don't like that. Even still, like, I remember doing a broadcast of the Phoenix Sky Game, right? I think they was like, one of the announcers, right? Well, if Phoenix wins this game, they move on to the desert. And I was like, I don't think LA is in the desert. I was like, I don't think
no,
she
you're
means.
Right.
I don't think she means Los Angeles.
We're in the valley.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I've never heard anybody say the desert when talking about LA. They're talking about Vegas.
Yeah. But you know what? They might have said that because I saw the way they had the graphic, the brackets were set, and naturally you think, oh, well, if you beat this team, you go to the next one. But in the WNBA, every round it resets.
That's unacceptable, though.
So you got to know these things.
This is the playoff game. This is not a regular season game with five games.
But their playoffs is unlike any other playoffs in professional basketball.
What it's like. I don't care. This is misinformation that should not be. Even they was talking about Lavender, right? The broadcast said Lavender broke her foot. When they put on the screen, they said she's out with an ankle injury. So which one is it? That's just
ankle is part of your foot. I'm just being
that's
funny.
Just like, but that's just misinformation. That is inexcusable. If you want the league to grow and you want to put forth the best women's basketball league in the world, certain things that's not acceptable. Even like the post game stuff, right? When it was shot with like an iPhone, I could tell it was shot with an iPhone. Mm-hmm. That's cool for me and you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the resources that the best women's basketball league in the world should have. You can get you an intern to shoot it on an actual 4K camera and get you somebody to put an overlay on it and put it up.
DSLR, right.
Within 15 minutes. It's not hard. Trust me. I put overlays on like our videos. It ain't hard.
Because I see the teams use professional grade.
So
the Sparks, shout out to the Sparks media people and their team.
I see them in there. Yeah. They cameras, like they good slow motion graphics. Right.
They may mix in some phone stuff just because, just because. But when they really want to put in work and they really want to do something professional,
everything has a graphic. So why is stuff tweeted out from the actual WNBA account, the actual WNBA page, that team stuff, and people who just make stuff look better than? Well, that to me is inexcusable.
That was one of the things I got a chance to speak with the new commissioner about, Kathy Engelbert. And we had that private conversation before game last week at Staples. And, we got to ask her different questions. And I asked her about accountability. And I also asked her about, digital media. And she considers digital media, which that was, a part of the overall engagement. And her idea is to improve engagement. You have to, hold people accountable. You have to really focus on that. So I will give her some slack, being that she's brand new. She just got finished going to visit every franchise in the league. She just finished that before the playoffs. She just got her name on the ball, the stamp. So, I think at this point, hopefully they all saw that. Hopefully they all realize their mistakes and they're able to correct them and really pay a lot more attention to the detail for a second round.
Like, I'm sure it's not her fault.
But next season, it's totally different.
Like, look, I'm sure it's not her fault.
No.
I'm sure she's going to do great things. I'm sure she's going to do a great job. The thing that's, making me mad is, why is this an issue in the first place? Why do you, look, that's your biggest star. She won MVP last season. I can see it. There's somebody at the end of the bench that we ain't never heard of. Why are you saying the wrong injury? Doing a playoff game, and they've done it multiple times this year.
But that's not. But is that on the league or is that on the broadcasters?
That's on everybody.
How is that on the league?
The league got to make sure that,
that they know the right information?
Yeah, something. It's on everybody.
If I don't know something, I'll just look it up.
But does the league not have nothing to do with the broadcast?
They do.
You hired the people?
Not really. No, they sold the rights to them. Okay. They didn't hire them.
Okay, but
because now some of those games during the season, when there's the WNBA games and they use the logo, that's a WNBA game. That's their broadcast. They're in charge of that, and they partner with them. But the playoffs, that's on ESPN.
If it reflects on you, it's on you.
That's true.
Like, if I'm dating a woman and she does something and it embarrasses me, she did that, but that also reflects on me.
That's true.
Because that's the person I'm dating. Mm-hmm. Like, if she go out here and get locked up, people looking at me too.
Yeah. This broadcast is the WNBA's child. So you have to make sure that
if your kid go to school and start throwing stuff all over the school, people gonna be looking at you like, what's going on at home?
Right.
Now, you didn't make that kid go start throwing stuff all over the school, but they're gonna be wondering what.
There was another one maybe you missed at halftime. So it was during the Sky and Mercury game. But it said that the Sparks and the Lynx was playing.
Like, that's just simple stuff.
Yeah.
Just doing the playoffs. Like this, if especially if it's all, because all the games televised, right? Because it's on TV. Mm-hmm. So this is supposed to be September is your month. September, early October is your month.
Right.
During the time these games come on, football not playing for the most part. It's nothing else on during most of the, especially during the week. Not like the Sunday games. Obviously, a lot of people gonna watch football, things like that. But that Wednesday, that night, is your night. First night of the playoffs. This is your night. So the spotlight on you ain't really. I don't think it was really too much else on TV, sport related.
Well, then I think this would be a charge for the WNBA to continue to take more ownership over it. Just don't say because I have this network covering this for me that it's okay. You do the look over the shoulder, the quality control, and things like that, and you really partner with them and make sure that you're talking to them about. What are the storylines of this game, and what are the things that should resonate with people? What are the things that we've seen be successful on digital media? But I also think that, sometimes people, they just get caught up in saying like, I have this banner. I got to be in front of this banner. I got to have this backdrop. We got to do it in front of this. And they don't think about the totality of the quality that you'll have. I mean, because I'm a stickler for lighting. Because if I stand you where you're in front of a window, it's gonna be blown out. So I'm gonna turn you around in that way. So I'm gonna go quality first over the background and the content and things like that.
But even still, with the quality, for instance, I'm telling
maybe they should just ask the teams to do it. Ask the teams to continue to do it, because I feel like the team's quality is good.
But look, you shot it in Seattle. You can't tell me. Isn't it on the campus of Washington that they shoot that they play the games on?
I think so.
So you trying to tell me, it's like you can't get you an intern, like some college kid that would do, I promise you, they would do it free. Yeah. They would, and probably got their own light.
I would.
All you need is one light. They ain't like you need one light.
Right.
You could light the thing up with one light. Mm-hmm. Shoot it on the camera, put an overlay on it, have it back to the league, 15 minutes. Max.
I mean, they probably didn't even have to send it to the league. They probably had access to the league account.
Put it up.
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes max, like a regular post-game interview. 10, 15 minutes max, put it up.
If that's the case, another option for them is to trust your teams. Just retweet what your teams are doing. Your teams are doing interviews.
Or that.
It doesn't have to say WNBA on it, because how often does the NBA actually interview people? Just like the NBA by itself.
Yeah, I don't think you see too much stuff that's like an NBA interview.
Right. So we see a lot of WNBA content by itself.
Now look,
allow these teams to just go with what the teams are doing, because the teams are doing nice things.
Now look, there was some cool things I did. Like I like when they, like, you know, in the NBA they'll pull the coaches after like a quarter. I like when they pull the players. I think that's dope to hear them in game talking about it like that. Again, there were some things I like. I don't want to make it like everything, you know, like I didn't like the entire broadcast, because again, there were some things I like, but it's just the simple, small things. Like, I don't understand how the MVP of the league, well, still reigning in, because Deladon ain't won it yet.
Right.
She has not been named, so she is still the MVP.
Yeah, they'll probably wait until she has her
playoff game. So she is still the MVP of the WNBA at this very moment.
Yes.
She has an injury that she suffered in June. Probably earlier than that, because she was April.
And it was on ESPN, I remember.
Achilles. Why does it say torn ACL? And why do you keep saying torn ACL on the broadcast?
Maybe some people don't realize the difference between an ACL and an Achilles.
If you don't realize the difference between ACL and Achilles, go back to biology. I want you to go back to your high school. We need to check out your high school, because they ain't teach you what they need to teach you.
And it's honestly, it's not even about recognizing the difference. It's just about making sure you have the right information.
Quality control. It's quality control.
Just make sure you have the right information.
That's
Double check,
all.
triple check.
That's not that hard.
Go to the Storm's injury report. She's not on the injury report because she was on the disabled list. But you can talk about that. I mean, you could just say she's a WNBA ambassador right now. She's rehabbing.
It's no reason for that. And then even like I said, they were talking about Lavender. It's like, oh, Lavender broke her foot. But then on the broadcast, they say she out with an ankle injury. Which one is it? You just told me she broke her foot. Now I say ankle. That just doesn't look professional to me.
Which one was it?
What you mean?
Which injury did she have?
I don't even know. I actually don't know. Now I'm confused. I don't know.
She had foot surgery.
It said ankle. Okay. I promise you. If you go back and watch the broadcast, when they put it up, it said ankle.
Well, maybe that's because she had that boot on.
But come on, man. You can't get in contact with somebody to see what the injury is. If you're gonna talk about it,
she is on the injury report,
and it probably says foot,
because she technically had a chance that, or still has a chance that, if they technically made the finals, she was like eligible to come back for like game 4 or 5.
At that point,
it doesn't matter at that point. But technically, she still technically has the ability to come back before the end of the season.
And it's like, see, like stuff like that. You was like, well, which one is it? I don't know. If I'm actually trying to follow the league,
right, and I'm trying to trust you for it,
and you giving me misinformation, you're not even giving me the right information that makes it easy for me as a fan to follow. Now I got to go do extra work and try to find out what the injury is, because I don't know which one it is.
But I just think that's a conversation that the league has with the broadcaster. You know, more so than just the league having the conversation with themselves. Now, obviously, they need to have a conversation with themselves about the social media aspect of it, because there is a benefit to social media being raw and social media just kind of looking like you or I shot it. But when it's coming from a brand, it's another level.
It gotta be.
Yeah. Even when I shoot my recap videos, I try to find a quiet space.
It looks like you find a quiet space, you mount the camera, you make sure the lighting is good, like you do a good job of shooting you like on the it like looks like an ESPN reporter went to the court and filmed it. Like I told
my
you.
goal.
Yeah, I told you. Like that. I told you. Like, yo, I like appreciate the way you cover the games. I like appreciate it, but it looks professional, and you doing the best you can with with what you have.
Exactly.
So there's no issue with you using the phone. For one, it looks great, and again, you're doing the best you can with what you have. But you ain't the league. We talking about the actual league.
I do have a gimbal too.
The gimbal. Oh yeah, the thing.
Yeah, but stabilizer and things like that.
But again, we talking about the actual league account. Yeah. There's no reason the league account shouldn't look better than something we can put up.
Well, hey, league, come holler at us. You want us to do some stuff for you?
I will gladly.
Put us in the new CBA. Put us in the new CBA. We'll do a podcast for you. We'll do some videos for you. We'll travel around for you.
Gladly.
Do all that.
Gladly.
Hit us up, league.
So yeah, but I mean, look, the rest of the playoffs should be dope. Get well soon, Brittany Griner.
Yeah,
she probably hyperextended her knee. I don't think she did anything. She probably hyperextended it.
Yeah, because she would not have tried to come back in if it was any damage.
So she probably which hurts.
I'm sure
people who hyperextend their knees usually walk off, and you think that they like destroyed themselves
right
every time. But she probably hyperextended her knee. Sure, she'll be back 100% soon. But it's unfortunate the way that their season turned out. Actually, if they would have just left her on the bench, they probably would have had a better chance of winning that game.
Yeah. This is a question for you. Maybe we can end on this, and it's not Sparks related. I saw somebody say, they were saying, I hope this is not the last time we see Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi, or Simone Augustus in the WNBA. Do you think there's a chance that any of them walks away?
I mean, how old is Diana now?
37 or 38.
I mean, it's about time. Simone, it's about time too. Griner, I mean, it would be unfortunate if she did, but like,
because she's not playing for the money. Here's
my thing with this, right? I think that it's time for a new generation of like WNBA stars. I think it's time for that. And one, younger stars who are more accustomed to social media and grew up in this era and care about also being stars off the court. Because I think that's what's going to help the league as well. Like, you need players like one of our favorite, Liz Cambage. Liz Cambage right now is... Do you think she's a top 5 player in the WNBA this season?
No.
But if you ask anybody, I guarantee you they would think she is.
Yeah.
You can't tell. Right. She's actually the face of the league right now. You know that, right? She's the face of the league.
Yeah.
She's the face of the league.
Yeah, she's most visible.
She's probably the most...
She's the most engaging.
She's the most recognizable face in the WNBA this season, and she's not a top 5 player.
And she's international, so she brings a whole continent.
But she cares about... She knows she's attractive. She's not scared to show you she's, looks how she looks, and she cares about her brand outside of basketball. And obviously she can hoop, she can ball, but she cares about her brand outside of basketball. Like, we need more stars like that who also care about their brand outside of basketball. So, I mean, if it was the last of them, I mean, as a basketball fan, I never got to see Diana Taurasi play in person. That sucks. For somebody who's grew up on Diana.
I got to give her a head nod when she was shooting around.
You did?
That was it.
But again,
I saw her shoot around.
But again, I never I didn't get to see Kobe play in person.
I don't think it's the end of Diana. I don't think it's the end of Brittany Griner. I know Simone Augustus wanted to play one more year, but she looked tired and she looked hurt.
Yeah.
When I saw her play these last 2 games, the Lynx here, she didn't look like she should have been out there.
Yeah.
She looked like she was just trying to play because she cares that much.
Yeah. So I mean, look, it would suck, but I think that the one thing about, every league is you got to go into a new era. Like, this is going to be 2020 next year. Next year going to be the 2020 season.
2020, you'll have the Olympics, so you'll have people paying attention to them when they're in Tokyo.
So
then they'll come back and you'll have heightened awareness for the WNBA, and then maybe that's the turning point. Because you'll probably have different salaries and things like that going forward.
So it's like, who are going to be these new stars that's going to take the league into the next generation? Again, the league it's not even 30 years old yet.
Not even.
If you look at the NBA, the NBA started in like 1950, something like that, late
40s.
1940s. Okay, 23 years in, that puts us... Is Bill Russell even out the league yet?
When?
23 years of the NBA's existence.
Out the league? No, not out.
So Bill Russell's still in the league. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure people thought, oh my God, Bill Russell retires. What are we going to do? Jerry West retires. What are we going to do? Okay, you get some new stars that continue to progress the league and take the league to a new level. So, I mean, look, if it is the last time we see them, it would suck. Again, they're all great players, Hall of Fame players. It would suck. But if it is, we got to get some new stars to come in and take the league and pick up where they left off.
If they can ever figure out a way to get some of these stars, and they figured it out with this Olympic program, and hopefully that's something they can continue every 4 years. But if they can ever figure out a way to get some of these stars to not have to go overseas, then they'll really be doing something.
Yeah, because then you'll see the quality. Like, again, I already think it's good basketball, but you would even see it improve even more because, like Fish said, like, the thing about the NBA is, let's say you lose in the play, like, you don't even make the playoffs. You've been chilling for 6 months? Mm-hmm. So you got 6 months to go get better. As long as you're not rehabbing, you got 6 months to work on your game and go get better.
But then you also have a lot of these, because you only have 144-ish players in the league, okay? Yeah. Give or take. 12 players on each team. Some of these top players have the ability to, like Candace Parker and Shanae, work broadcasting. Mm-hmm. Lena Beard works in venture capitalism. NECA obviously has the ability to do dang near anything she wants to do outside of basketball. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of these players that have, they're entrepreneurs, they're broadcasters. Yeah. They may go back to school and study something. So
it gives you more visibility.
Yeah. If you could just get a little bit more out of the WNBA, then they can improve their game, and then they can improve their personhood and their livelihood.
They can also improve their brands. I think a lot of improving your brand is having the money to be able to improve your brand. Mm-hmm. Like, let's say you want to start a quality YouTube channel. I mean, you need a little bit of money to start a quality YouTube channel.
That's true.
You need to get you a cameraman, get you somebody who can edit something. So, if you can figure out a way to pay them some more money, maybe they could even get better brands because they have the money to progress their brand. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. All right, but so we got the Sparks Storm on Sunday.
Sparks win.
Sparks going for their 15th straight win, which is crazy. 15 straight wins at home is crazy over a season like this.
Sparks win, but they better come out with they better come out, and the lead better be winning by the end of the first.
Yeah, they win this game in the first quarter.
I agree. First 6 minutes is gonna tell me a lot.
Mm-hmm. They win this game in the first quarter, but. All right, y'all. We'll be with y'all probably a little bit after Sunday. We'll see what they do, and we'll see where the Sparks are in this season. We'll see if they can make it to the semifinals and head to Connecticut and play those Suns. All right, y'all.
All right.
Peace.